The pen is the tool of the journalists. This show is called Pens Down because this is where news reporters and news presenters become newsmakers. We turn the tables. They drop their pens. That is why we call it Pens Down. And then we put the CCTV camera on them for them to tell us the story behind their craftsmanship, all that they go through, and then the behind the scenes issues that the news stories would not necessarily carry. Today, I have a senior colleague join me. He is in Ghana, Accra, Ghana. He's been in sports journalism for decades. He's attended a number of foreign journalism institutions like the BBC Training School, also the Deutsche Welle. He's been a ceremonial sports commentator for Ghana's national broadcaster, the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, and he's worked with TV Africa, one of the leading private stations in Ghana, for quite a long time. He's also done some consultancy work for CNN Sports, among others. I can't wait for this conversation. Prince Joe Lartey Jr. is my guest on Pens Down today. Thanks a lot for joining me, sir.
Thank you for having me, my brother.
Maybe for an icebreaker, are you still in active journalism or you've hung your boot? Have we lost you?
Well, I wouldn't say totally lost, but I'm not as I used to be. I am now concentrating more on my writing career. I also belong to the Association of Writers.
Right.
But of course, journalism has been in my blood, and so I can never abandon it.
How did you discover the journalist in you?
I think that right from the beginning, when I was in primary school, I wanted to be a journalist for some very interesting reason. I remember when I was in the second year in basic school, I had a chance to join the drama troupe of my school. My school was known as Santa Maria School. There was an active drama and performing club in the school. At that time, there was this woman on GTV. GTV used to be the only television station in the country, and her name was Tina Moses. Tina Moses hosted a show known as Children's Own. And every child, every pupil, it was every pupil's dream to be on that show and to be on the only television station in the country. So in 1986, when I was in my second year in primary school, so now they call it two. When I was in basic two, I had a chance to be on Tina Moses' show.
Wow.
And and when I got to GBC, when I entered the studio and I saw the state of the art craftsmanship there, the atmosphere, the air conditioning, the seriousness of the journalists, and the fact that I was in the only broadcasting studio in the country. From that day, in 1986, I said to myself, I am going to be a journalist when I grow up.
Wow. Since you started to date, how many years has this been?
I started active journalism in 1999 at GBC. So 1999 to 2019, 20 years it's been. At 20 years, I sort of went into hibernation to concentrate more on. So I did active 20 years of journalism.
I have known you as a television personality as far as sports journalism is concerned. And for me, if your name is mentioned, that is what readily I can associate you with. Television, does it take your private life away from you?
Television takes your private life away from you. My issue is even double what you have said, because I happen to have a similar name with the old Joe Lartey, a renowned African and world commentator. So that gave me a lot of shine and a lot of publicity, apart from being on television. Right from GBC, when I did radio for a while and moved to join George Lartey on Sports Beat on television before finally joining TV Africa for 14 years, I could say that 5 days a week, every morning, I was on television, plus Saturday when I hosted my show. So 6 days a week, you're on television, it's like almost everybody in the country knows you by face.
Mm.
You cannot buy granuts on the streets and chew.
That was the sacrifice you made.
That was the
But these 2 decades or more that you've been in journalism, what would you stick out as the most challenging assignment you ever undertook?
right. Because I love to do investigative journalism,
Okay.
but because on TV, it became very difficult for me to do that because everywhere I go,
Mm.
that face is and people recognize me.
Yeah.
The most dangerous assignment I've ever undertaken was
Mm.
when I tried to do something on the way meat is prepared and
Okay.
sold to in Kaswa.
Mm.
I did that successfully, but in the end, I almost ended up paying with my life.
Wow. Wow. After that incident, which was more or less a close shave for you, did you sit back and reflect and ask yourself, is this profession even worth it? Why will I want to toy with my life like this? Did anything like that come to mind?
Yes, I thought that I should go back and concentrate on my sports journalism instead of
Mm.
going here. But you see, journalism
Mm.
is supposed to help shape mankind.
Yeah.
And so it is something you can do out there
Mm.
to help people, like I tried doing, so that people do not eat poison meat. The
Yes.
meat is slaughtered in by the side of a very big gutter where
Mm.
people defecate, and then it is singed
Mm.
with burning tires and
Yeah.
washed with water from that big gutter. I
Mm.
thought that would save people from a lot of diseases, and
Mm.
that may be a result of how the meat is prepared. But after that gunshot, I asked
Mm.
myself that it was really worth it. And then it also made me reminisce and think back to of all the things that I have done in the other
Mm.
aspects of journalism, the sports journalism as well.
Mm.
And I asked myself, am I satisfied? Do I have contentment? Is it okay? Is it worth it?
Mm.
And after weighing this, I realized that, well, journalism is very interesting, but
Mm.
if care is not, you may end up regretting being a journalist.
Mm. This experience you talk about, forgive me, would you want to share details or if you don't mind?
Yeah, I think it's declassified now. Let me put it that way. It happened in 2012.
Very well. Okay.
2012 in November, I think,
Okay.
between two. So there's a place called Kaswa
Mm.
in the central region of Ghana. Okay, people think it's still in the Greater Accra region because of the proximity.
Yes.
Yeah, there was an abattoir,
Mm.
you know, by the roadside. It was not a
Mm.
complete abattoir, a shift abattoir. It
Okay.
used to be near a river,
Mm.
but that river no longer existed and no longer exists. It became a gutter for all kinds of nefarious activities that take place in the night. And during the
Mm.
day, see people early part of the day at dawn, very early in the
Mm.
morning, see people line up as if they are having a contest. And
Mm.
unfortunately, that's a defecating contest. That's where they empty their bowels. And
Wow.
what happened is that animals are slaughtered beside
Mm.
this particular place.
Mm.
A lot, and I can say that that is where the whole municipality, if I should use that word, that is where they get their meat from. But after that, they take the meat to the various markets. A lot of efforts has been done to get them from that place to move into a proper abattoir,
Mm.
which they want to for reasons that they explain. First of all, when they move into an abattoir, a proper abattoir, they're going to pay for electricity bill. They're
Mm-hmm.
going to pay for the gas they use in singeing the meat.
Yeah.
They're going to pay for the and of course, they're going to pay for the space. So
Mm.
operating here was way, way cheaper than
Mm.
moving in there. And so that's why I tried to do a story on that. And I think I did. I wouldn't want to go into details. And
Okay.
after I did that story, after I did that story, I thought my face was hidden, only to be chased and then shot about 3 months later. on my way home. I had a gunshot to my head and have the wound, the scar to show as I speak with you now. I was taken to the Kollywood Teaching Hospital where it was sutured. And fortunately, the bullet entered into my head. The bullet opened my skull and then went to hit the. And so the following day, when the police came around and people came around, you could see the bullet mark on the wall. And for me, that was a very close shave. I nearly lost my life. That was the worst part of my journalism career. Apart from that, I have also had cutlass wounds in the same vicinity for the work that I tried to do for mankind.
Within the same Kaswa vicinity?
Within the same Kaswa vicinity. And the problem for me was because I had been on TV for a long time.
Yeah.
When you want to go undercover, you have to go incognito. But here it's a very familiar face, and the face is fair as well.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
it was very easy to identify me. And I thought I had really put my life at stake. I don't think I would do that again, since I have the same face. It's an older face now, but you can still identify television.
Sure, that's right. But does journalism pay?
Right, you're talking about money or
yes, remuneration-wise.
Remuneration-wise, it didn't pay me. When you want to do proper, honest journalism, and those in the industry will know what I'm talking about now. Proper, honest journalism, service to mankind. You don't get the returns in money. No. If you get the returns in other forms. So yes, journalism pays, but not in terms of money. Not during my time. You don't get a direct money from the work that you do as a journalist. Honest work.
Right.
But of course, there are other that can help.
Are you active on social media?
I'm active on Facebook.
Okay.
Yes, I'm active on Facebook. I read a lot of the postings on Facebook, and I observe what happens on Facebook.
Right.
I'm not active.
Then let me ask you this. How, from where you sit, how has social media altered the face of journalism?
Oh, social media has seriously altered the face of journalism. See, the ethics of journalism, I'm very sorry to say, has been thrown to because of citizen, they call it citizenship journalism, others call it citizen journalism.
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody at all wants to put news across, once the person has been through any form of training or not. And so the ethics are not there. So what happens is that news is put there the way it should not be put. You don't sit, you don't sieve, and you don't ask yourself whether it is proper to put it out there. You understand? Yeah, because of this, the quality of journalism has been watered down. That, yes, has been watered down seriously, not like before. Sometimes some people's names of some people should not even be mentioned when you are reporting. Their pictures should not be who have been raped, they are rape victims, people who have committed crime. You have their watching. You don't put their pictures on a platform where other people say it, and but all this is being done now, and so the ethics, like I said, totally watered down, and it has negatively affected journalism. But there may also be some positive aspect of it, and that is the fact that news now is traveling very fast, travels faster than before because of social media and citizen journalism.
If we are to go back into time, 25 years, are you still going to choose journalism, or it will be something else?
It may be something else. Apart from the experience in journalism, let me go experience something else. But I cannot talk But I cannot totally abandon journalism because that's what I've been practicing all my life. Yes.
Let's look at journalism and politics, the political ownership of the media. We have politicians in Ghana and other parts of Africa owning and setting up media houses, and some politically exposed persons also doing the same. Our democracy, is there a reason for worry? Is there cause for concern, or there's no trouble at all?
There is a serious cause for concern because news has been skewed towards some people's political perspective.
Yeah.
And the way they see things and the way they want people to see things. So I am a politician. I want to run for this position. I have a television station and I have a radio station. I'll make sure that the people hear what I want them to hear. Those days when there was traditional media houses owned by the government, the journalism was more balanced than it is now. I remember my days in GTV, GBC, because I was on radio from 1990 on GBC. You have to be one of the best to be able to fit into their scheme of things, and you have to make sure that you report accuracy in whatever that you're putting out there. And there's certain things that we were taught that are no longer in practice now when it comes to people who are politicians and they own media houses. What they show on the media houses, what they portray through their media houses, is what they want the people to know. So it is not necessarily truth, but their truth.
And
any
golden memories? These 20 years or a little more, any golden memories that you want to share?
Yes, I want to share when Chelsea came to Ghana.
Okay.
Yes, Michael Essien was with the Chelsea team at that time. I happened to be the only journalist who was allowed to travel with them in their private jet across the country, especially to the region. And I had the chance of hosting Chelsea in my studios at TV Africa. That is a memorable event that I will not forget. There are others, but stands out. And Chelsea used to be my team as well. So hosting your own team in your own country,
yeah, now in the language of a sports journalist, you would say that was a fixed match, right? All right. A lot of attrition is happening in journalism. So many qualified, highly trained professionals are abandoning the craft. Some of them are going into public relations or corporate communications. For others, anything that would absorb them. I am sure for all these years you've been here, you have had your colleagues, seniors, or even juniors leave the craft, and today they are still living. What do you think is accounting for this high attrition journalism is suffering?
It's because of the finances. That is, like I said earlier, journalism doesn't pay physical money.
Yeah.
Especially now that we have a plethora of media houses littered across the country. Some journalists even go to work and at the end of the month, they are not paid.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. So the platform is used to get you familiarized with other aspects, other people, other companies, and eventually you move in there and you're a public relations person. That one you are on a payroll as a corporate worker. So that's why a lot of people are leaving the journalism industry per se.
Yeah.
So they are branching into public relations. They are doing corporate work, and that is where the money is. So now a lot of people see journalism as a way of getting into a bigger money-making venture. So you see somebody doing journalism for a while, and then you hear the person is a public relations officer of a very big company, or the person has dual work, that's journalism, and doubles up as a public relations officer for another company. It's happened in my work, in my line of work. Other sports journalists are now PRO for football teams.
Yeah.
So it has become one. You say, yeah, it's become one. So to say you do this and you do that, otherwise you cannot make ends meet.
Now, a sports journalist as a PRO for a sporting club, is there no conflict of interest, or will there not arise the possibility of a conflict of interest one day?
There has always been a conflict of interest. Using your media house to promote a football team, it's going to be very difficult for you to blame the football team when something bad happens. What I'm saying is that assuming there is unpleasant news about that football, you as a public relations person, are you going to go sit on air and talk about it? Because public relations are shaping the opinion of the people concerning the organization that you're representing. And this is the case where there's something wrong with the organization and you're supposed to protect it. Are you going to use your media house to say the truth or to say the partial truth? So, of course, there will always be that conflict of interest there.
Let's talk about Solly. Now that we've looked at bribery, let's talk about the other money side of journalism, Solly. On this show, I have gotten to hear the surnames of Solly based on location. In Nigeria, they call it the brown envelope. Cameroon also calls it the brown envelope. Liberia calls it professional services. Malawi calls it logistics. I mean, there are all sorts of names given to it based on where you are. What is your personal take on Solly?
From where I was trained, at that time, it was a sin to take Solly. And from where I'm coming from, the old boy, having been a very famous journalist, known standards, was a sin for me to go on assignment and take money solely. But I don't know now. Now maybe it's synonymous with the word. Maybe you prefer to call it TNT, and that makes you feel better taking it.
I know if I ask you whether you still call yourself a journalist, I may end up getting a blow or two. My question is, are you doing journalism for life?
I think so. If you call it journalism, because I'm no longer active on television.
Okay.
Yes, but I still write. And once in a while, when an issue occurs and people want my opinion, they call and they interview me. If that is journalism, that I'm still doing that, and I think I'll be doing that for life. I also have people that I have helped in the journalism industry who are still practicing. Once in a while, they follow me for advice. So if you call that journalism, then I'm still practicing. But I'm not doing it on a regular basis, on everyday basis like I used to do.
Okay.
I am more a mentor and a writer now. Of course, I may come back in the industry to host my own. That is very possible. Yes.
Right. Okay. Let me put you on the spot. Which public figure in Ghana, give me one male, one female, would you like to interview? One-on-one interview. Which public figure would you like to interview? One male, one female in Ghana. And then internationally, give me one male, one female.
Internationally, I want to speak with this CNN lady, Christian Lamampo.
Okay. The one who is always on the battlefield.
The one who's always on the battlefield.
Yeah.
There are a few questions I want to ask. A few questions I want to ask her. Wow. And then in the country, one male,
one female.
One male, I think John Dramani Mahama, ex-president John Dramani.
Okay.
Important questions I want to ask him as well. Yes. And then one female.
Yeah.
Have I even thought of that? Well, maybe that's why you put me in the spot. Wow.
So while you think about it, maybe internationally you could look at the male.
Internationally, yes. Internationally, I would love to interview Donald Trump.
Now, this is the second time somebody has said this. What about this one?
The way his mind works, I want to find out the way his mind works.
Mm,
Yeah, because he comes out with very unimaginable concepts
mm,
and those ends up achieving very
yeah.
outrageous ones,
Mm,
and he gets people for him.
mm,
I just want to know how his mind works, how it takes.
mm.
Yes.
And then a female in Ghana.
Oh, you've come back to that, my brother.
Yes.
I thought you forgot.
We have to exhaust the list.
So who am I looking at? The first female vice chancellor
Okay.
of a university in Ghana here,
That is Professor Jenana Opoku-Agyemang.
Professor Jinano Pokwachima. You know,
Yeah. Yes.
I had a chance to meet her
Mm.
under very unusual circumstances.
Okay.
She was serving food.
Really?
Yes, she served us while she was a vice chancellor at the University of Cape Coast.
Mm.
And I said, wow, I was gobsmacked. Let
Mm.
me use that word. I
Yeah.
was gobsmacked. The first female vice chancellor in a country coming down to this level. And
Mm.
that tells me that everybody has got some form of humility as far as
Yeah.
the way the person was trained is
Mm.
concerned. Yes,
Mm.
training has a deep impact on humans, no matter the status that they attain.
Mm.
And I want to speak with her if I get the chance.
Wow. Another media matter which is raging on this platform, licensing of journalists. Should journalists be licensed?
Can journalists be licensed?
Mm.
Now that you have social media,
Yeah.
in the beginning, I was thinking journalists should be licensed.
Mm.
In the beginning, like the doctors, like
Yes.
the soldiers,
Yes.
like the
The
lawyers,
lawyers. Yes.
yes, journalists should be licensed. But you
Mm.
see, influence of social media, you cannot license journalists any longer. They would not
Mm.
even allow themselves to go through that so that's let me use that straight jacket
Yeah.
licensing procedure whilst other people are disseminating information and making money. Now it's all about making money. It's all
Mm.
it's all about the number of people who
Mm.
watch you on social media, the number of people who like what you put on YouTube and all. Who would say I'm licensed to practice when I have the camera with me? No, it's not possible. That should be
Mm.
ideal. That should be ideal, but it's no longer possible. Do you think it is?
It's going to be a tough one because the boundaries of free speech have been thrown wide open, and it can create chaos. Any attempt to bring that in can create chaos, actually,
They would
because
say
then
that
a
you are
lot
trying.
of journalists might abandon the newsroom for
Yeah,
Facebook pages and YouTube channels and the rest. And there,
yes,
they wouldn't need that kind of licensing to be able to operate.
exactly. They'll say you're trying to censor them,
Yes.
and you see that as censorship, and they will not agree.
Mm,
So it's almost impossible to say that journalists should practice with a license
mm,
because of social media.
yeah. Will
Those days
you?
when they were in their houses,
Mm,
then you could have done that.
yeah.
You could have put in certain measures for that will allow people to belong to the Ghana Journalists Association.
Yeah.
But now to say that if you don't do this, you'll not be part of the Ghana Journalists Association. They say, okay, we're going. We're going to form our own association because we're still practicing. That
Mm,
will not stop me from practicing. That is what they
mm,
will say. And that is what makes it now impossible.
mm. Will you encourage your child or a mentee who wants to go into journalism to take to journalism? Would you give the person your blessing? And what would you tell the person to do differently?
The question again.
If your child or a mentee walks up to you and says, I am thinking of taking to journalism as a profession come one day, is the person getting your blessing and encouragement? If yes, what would you tell the person to do differently, maybe from the way you started or from what you did?
I will tell the person to go do communication.
Okay.
Yes, that is more limitless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to limit the person to say journalism.
Okay.
And yes, and I'll ask the person to also look not only for the love of the job, but
Mm-hmm.
for sustenance.
Okay.
Some of us were looking only for the love of the job and humanity,
Mm.
thinking that sustenance follow. No, I'll tell the person to look at both sides. Very
Mm.
important.
Mm. Mm. Since you have done over 2 decades, you've gone through certain stages of journalism, maybe a generation or two. What is your candid assessment of the quality of journalism in Ghana today?
Uh, Two ways. Because of the advancement of technology in
Mm.
the country,
Mm.
the quality of journalism on the screen, on air, has improved.
Yeah.
But I don't know about the quality when it comes to the ethics. And
Okay.
like I said before, I'm always talking about ethics because you are dealing with sensitive issues about
Mm.
human beings.
Mm.
The way you practice your journalism can destroy people's lives forever. People are
Yes.
now practicing what we call journalism, extortion journalism,
Yeah.
extortion journalism,
Mm.
sextortion, and others.
Mm.
So, in that angle, I would say that the quality has dropped totally. But of course, in the other angle, I would say that journalism has really improved. So it's a two-way thing, depending on how you look at it.
Mm. Let me pull the brakes here, sir. And thank you very much for this conversation. I'm truly grateful and honored to have had you on this platform. Are there any
I'm happy.
final comments or thoughts you want to share before we wrap up?
Well, I want to thank you too, and I want to tell my fans,
Mm.
your yonder days that I may
Mm.
come back in another form.
Right.
Maybe start expecting my books or
Mm.
expecting my on a different show.
Right.
And I thank them for the support that they gave to me when I
Mm.
was fully in the business.
Mm. Mm. But are you related to the legendary Joe Lartey?
Over to you, Joe Lartey.
That's
Over to
right.
you, Joe. Discovered me when I was in Accra Academy.
Okay.
He was our debating teacher, and
Mm.
it was him that I actually got into GBC as a journalist. So right from the beginning, as a teenager, he mentored me.
Mm.
Uh, yes, so that's why they call me Junior. And I'm still in touch with him. I see him every day. He's a father. I
Mm.
see him every week, once every week. I
Okay.
see him. Yes. Over to you, Joe Lati.
Until you gave this response, I had always thought he was like biologically related to you or something. Wow.
Yes, a lot of people think so because of how close we have been.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. He also doesn't say,
Mm.
doesn't talk about, doesn't make that, doesn't try that dichotomy.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Right from academy, he was also an old boy of Accra Academy.
Mm.
And because he has a gift of the gab, he came to take care of our debating club. And but before that, my name Jonathan Lartey. So I was Joe Lartey.
Oh, I see.
Yes, my name was Joe Lartey right from birth.
Okay.
And then yes, so to make a difference, he added, because we're all in the same industry, he
Mm.
added the G to it, and he's been
Oh,
very good. He was
oh.
I went to BC on the wings of his name, and
Mm.
he's been a father. So this is the first time in an interview that I am clarifying the relationship.
Mm. Wow.
Everybody has known that relationship to be a father and a son relationship biologically.
I will not be doing justice to my viewers if I do not put this to you. What do you make of what is happening in Ghana football today?
I thought your questions ended.
Journalists unfortunately never run out of questions. I know, I know I said I was wrapping up, but this just came up. So please oblige me.
I think that we should have been where some other countries are now.
Mm,
We won the Cup of Nations for the fourth time in 1982
yes.
in League.
Mm,
And since then, what has happened to us? So,
mm,
yes, now we are going into more competitions,
mm,
but we are not bringing the laurels home. Unlike before, when it was only the Cup of Nations and we bring in laurels.
mm,
And now we're doing Cup of Nations, we're doing World Cup, we're doing Women's Tournament, we're doing this, we're doing that. But are we bringing back the medals? That's the
mm.
question. And if you answer the question, then you will answer for yourself the quality of football or sport in Ghana as well.
That'll be all for today. Thank you very much, sir, for your time and your presence on PENSDOWN. I'm truly very grateful.
Yes, I'm happy to, but I just want to make my final point. I want to say
Very
a
well,
very
sir.
big yes, I want to say a very big thank you to over to you, Joe Lartey.
Right. When the conversation is eventually out, please be sure to send him a link. I'm sure he would love to watch and hear this from you directly.
Sure, sure.
Right. This has been
Thank you.
Pens Down. Here we talk journalism journeys. And today, one of the seasoned broadcasters in Ghana, Prince Joe Lartey Jr., has been my guest. He joined me. We've looked at his journalism journey, the ups and downs, and even what the future holds. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back again once more with another colleague, and still the men will be one. We'll be talking their journalism journeys. Bye for now.